So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. You're welcome to this week's Forex Outlook with Great White FX for the 11th to 15th of December 2023. So, we're going to first start off with the economic calendar. Looking at the economic calendar, it's going to be a beautiful next week with lots of red party heading up. If we look at what we have next week, we have CPI very early in the week on Tuesday. Then we have FOMC on Wednesday. Then we have rate news for pound on Thursday, rate news for euro, same Thursday. Then Friday, we have lots of high impact news on the pound and the euro and some other high impact news on Friday. But this week, for the dollar index, this is the most important news, followed by this. It's going to be very interesting Tuesday and Wednesday. So with that out of the way, let's get into the charts to see what the charts have for us. So we're going to start off with the US 100, which is the MT4 variation for NASDAQ. We're going to, from there we go to dollar index, Euro USD, GBPUSD, gold, Euro pound, pound yen, and the Euro yen. So we're going to start off with US 100. Looking at US 100, we're going to start off from the daily time frame. Just pardon me, I don't have candles on my chart. This is how I start my analysis before we go into the chart. So looking at this, we have a break above this high. So on the daily, the US 100 is bullish. On the daily, it's bullish. So if we go down to the 4-hour time frame, down to the 4-hour time frame, this is a daily range on the 4-hour time frame. This high to this low. That's the dealing range for now. Previously, it was bearish with the break here. But if you look now, we have a close above these two highs on the 4-hour. So that means that going into this new, there's a possibility that any retracement on this pair, price might be gunning for this high. So if we go down to the 1-hour time frame, we can see the 1-hour time frame price is making new highs. So with that, if we go into our candlestick chart, we're going to be looking for where price might most likely be drawn to going into this new week. So most likely from the weekly, price might be trying to close this up. So for the US 100, any down move is going to offer an opportunity for a long. The next way we're going to be looking at is the dollar index. So if we look at the dollar index, structure-wise, the dollar index from the daily, if we use dealing range, is bullish. From this low to this high, this is the impulse. What we're seeing is a retracement. And if you look at price has bounced off the 62% of this low. That's 99.57 to 107.34. It's bounced off it. That's what we have on the daily. So if we drop down now to the 4-hour time frame, the 4-hour time frame, it's slightly bullish, slightly in a range. For this to continue higher, this high, most especially this high, has to give way. And that's at 104.56. It has to give way. Because we don't have a good close above 104.21. We don't have yet a good body close above it. So that's suspect. So what does that point to? It points to the fact that starting into this new week, we might see a bit of a retracement. And since this low could not break this high, there's a possibility, not saying it might happen, but there is a possibility price may gone for this low before going back up. You know, we have high impact news on Tuesday and Wednesday, but also at the same time, we have this fair value gap here. So if we drop down to our 4-hour time frame, we'll be watching this weekly, because now since price has closed above it, we'll be watching this to act as an inversion fair value gap. You have this here also, and you have that of the weekly. So 104.81 to 103, 103.81 to 103.71. So you'll be waiting for something like this. You're waiting for price to come here. As you can see, there's a fair value gap above there. So if price does not close below this, you wait for something like this for continuation to the upside, because I have the feeling that the draw on the dollar index, let's go to the weekly time frame, is this fair value gap here, has his draw. So if we go down now to the 4-hour time frame, we'll be waiting for a retracement and then a push higher. So the next pair we're going to be looking at is EURUSD. So if we look at the EURUSD structure wise, on the daily, long term, if we look at this pair on the daily, this is the major move down that took out this low, this low, this low. So that's at 1.1275 to 1.0448. And if you notice, price has really retraced above the 62% of that move before dropping. If we go to the 4-hour time frame, the 4-hour time frame, price is bearish, but price is within this big fair value gap. Price is bearish if we drop to the 4-hour time frame of this pair. So looking at this pair and where price is, there's a possibility we might see a bit of a retracement before a continuation to the downside. Because if I remove all this, you can see price has closed below this. So possibility we might see a retracement and then a move lower on this pair. Let's go down to the 1-hour time frame. Let's look at it from the 1-hour time frame. See what as you can see, the 1-hour time frame is making new lows. So we might see a bit of a retracement, depending on what they do on Monday, and then we might see price going for this level here. So the next pair we're going to be looking at is the pound USD. So looking at the GBPUSD structure wise, we can see that we have an impulse down. This is the dealing range on the daily. Price has retraced to the 62%. And if you notice, this block here, all this here was the origin of the move down. If I pull back my candles, you can see this was where this down move started, and price has come in there, couldn't close above 1.2745, and it's dropping now. If you look at it at daily, price is sitting within this other block here. Price is sitting within this other block. But if you look closely, you would notice that price fails to make a higher high, spiked above, rejected, then dropped. Now, if we go to the 4-hour time frame, see that price is on the 4-hour time frame. This is the long-term billing range, but we have a mid-term range here. That's a short-term range here, and that is where that daily bullish order block is residing. So if we look at this now on the 4-hour time frame, price did not close below this level. If you notice on the EURUSD, price closed below this. So looking at this, there's a possibility we might see price retrace deeply on the pound yen. There's a possibility we might see price retrace a little bit deeply. If we go to the 4-hour time frame.
Not pound yen.
No, sorry. GBPUSD, we might see a bit of a steep retracement on the GBPUSD. If you look at it on the 4-hour, it didn't close below it. But on the 1-hour, it closed below it. But I'll take what the 4-hour is telling me. The 4-hour is saying that there's a strong rejection. So we might see a steep retracement into this area as long as on the 4-hour we don't get a body close above 1.2613. What do I mean by body close? We don't get a candle closing body wise above it. If that happens, then you'll be looking for something like this. So that's what we'll be looking forward to. Depends on what they do on Monday, as Tuesday and Wednesday is going to be very, very heavy for the dollar index. The next pair we're going to be looking at is gold. So looking at gold, structure-wise, if we look at gold, let me move all this. Gold, it looked like as if it closed above this level. But if you look at it candle-wise, it's more like a wick. It's more like wicked above. If we go down to the daily time frame, we would notice that this was the area that created that long movement up. If gold was supposed to continue upwards, that's bullish, this area was supposed to have held price. Let me put this here. This area was supposed to have held price. But as you can see, when price closed below it, came back, got rejected. Second time, got rejected. So going into this new week, and if we look at where price is sitting at this point. This is an impulse area. So we might see a retracement in here for a move lower on gold. Let's see if price is sitting within, yes, it's sitting within a daily order block. It's sitting within a daily order block. And this order block is slightly important because this was the other block that was used to break this high. And to an extent, they didn't close above this high with that much. But if we look at it, let me hide all so that if we put a horizontal line here, there's a close above it. So this other block is important. So you don't want to be taking a sell here. You don't want to be taking a sell here. You'll be waiting for a retracement. So if we go down to the 4-hour time frame, you'll be waiting for a retracement into this area here. Here to here. But being gold for what it is, there's a possibility it may spike this high. But basically, you just wait for a retracement. So if Monday starts off and we get something like this, you can take a long position. This is what you need to see to take a long position. If it doesn't make a lower low, maybe makes a lower high and breaks the neckline, you wait for something like this to take a long. Or it may break, like this. Then you know these stop points. Then this, based on this condition, you can take a long into this structure point here. That's it for gold. So gold is still bearish. Any rally will offer
Not clear. Not clear. This what you explain now is not clear.
Okay, let me explain again. Gold is bearish. That's one fact we've established. Gold is bearish.
Yes.
But it is sitting within a daily high value order block. You're going to see a bounce.
Okay.
How high that bounce can go, I cannot see. But knowing gold for what it is, that bounce might provide a long opportunity.
Okay.
So that long opportunity, you are going to take it if you see something like this. A high, either a higher high or a lower high, but you need structure break, that's the break of a high. So once you get that, you wait for a retracement into that zone, and then you take a long trade. Or if you don't want to do that, you wait for the sell from inside this area.
Okay.
So that's it for gold. So the next we're going to be looking at is EURGBP. This pair was very, very interesting. And I'll say this, most people don't like trading GBPUSD because it can be crazy at times. But the key to trading any GBP pair, that's GBPUSD or any GBP cross, is EURGBP. Once you have an understanding of what EURGBP is going to do, it makes it easier for you. So if we look at this pair, like I said last week, this pair was sitting at a weekly rejection point. And the range, you won't believe this, but this is the entire last week's candle. The range on this entire candle is 35 pips. From Monday till Friday, 35 pips. That's why you must always know where you are and see the way price is sitting above it. So I believe they are waiting for the euro and British pound rate news on Thursday. So given that, where price is, and this is bearish, if you look at it, we have a high, low, a higher high, and a break of this. So on this pair, any rally, structure-wise, is going to be an opportunity for a short. If we go down to the 4-hour time frame, you can see this is the range. We haven't got any major retracement, so there's a possibility price may run up into this zone here. That's this point. That's this point to this point. That's between 0657 to 0724. So look, so what do you need? What will tell you that the retracement has started? So if you look at price, this is what we have on price. First, you need a body close above 0.8588. You need a body close above it. And when you get that, the body close above it, then you have something like this, then a continuation for a long, which is a scalp move, because the major trend on this pair is to the downside. So the next pair we're going to be looking at is pound yen. This pair is bearish. It's bearish for now, but on the daily time frame, yes, it's bearish. Well, where it is on the daily is at this point. So we can see a major spike. And if we notice on the daily, price did not close below 180.86. So we might see a very, very steep retracement before a continuation. As you can already see here, there's a high-low break of neckline. So this might retrace steeply before continuing back to the downside. So pound yen is bearish, but going into this new week, we might see a bit of a retracement before a continuation to the downside, probably to sweep 178. As you can see, price didn't touch it, came very close and turned. So we might see a retracement into this zone or probably higher before it moves back to the downside. The euro yen, the same thing too. Euro yen is bearish. As you can see, due to the weakness on the euro pound, you can see this made a lower high and then broke. So we might see a retracement on this. The retracement is already setting up. Let's go to the 1 hour chart. As you can see, it's already setting up. So price is within this structure point. So you might see a bit of a retracement, then something like this to continue the counter move to the upside. So that settles it. Any questions? Any question? Is there any pair you would want? Any question?
The EURJPY, euro yen is now going up. Has it reached its
Euro yen.
support? Yeah.
Euro yen.
Yeah.
Euro yen is bearish.
Up till now. Wow. Okay. Yes.
It's bearish.
He didn't break this one now on the daily.
Yes, he didn't break it, but he broke it. This
Oh,
is
okay.
where they started buying from. And he
Mm.
failed to make a higher high
Okay.
and dropped. So you're going to see a steep retracement before a continuation back to the downside. So if that move starts, you'll be gunning for this area here on the daily. But for
Okay.
this week, you're going to see a retracement probably to fill this daily fair value gap or even this before they continue back to the downside.
Okay.
So that's it. That's the euro yen. So you might see a retracement. Note this area here. This area is that's this area. That's 159.91 to 158.42 to 159.91. So if this area fails, rejects price, then you see the continuation down. But if price closes above this area, then he's going to come into this zone. Any other questions, Ma?
Thank you.
So good night. Don't forget to like the video on YouTube. It goes a long way, and share it if you can. So good night, everybody. Wishing everybody a blessed weekend and a wonderful week ahead.